Leadership is not complicated. People make it complicated. Leadership can be a lot easier if you follow these 4 steps. So most people don't work in a Silicon Valley startup with people wearing their fancy ties and glass everywhere. Most people work in factories and on construction crews. They work in hospitals, they work in utilities, they work with their hands, and a lot of leadership advice that comes from those corporate offices gets ignored because people just can't see how it would possibly help them. I'm going to tell you right now, leadership is leadership, and it doesn't matter if you're in a corporate office, if you're in Silicon Valley, the deserts of Afghanistan, or the 3rd floor of a hospital. Leaders are going to lead. So first, let's talk simplicity. Simplicity scales. So it's really easy to be clear and simple when you're only leading a group of 2 or 3 people. But if you're the middle manager, maybe you have 40 people, maybe you have 80 people, or a higher level manager where you have hundreds or even thousands of people, you need to keep things simple because your mission, vision, and end state needs to make it down to the lowest level. I'll use an example we had for warning shots in Iraq. And warning shots was also a very controversial topic. The entire time I was there, I'm sure it was before and after, I've heard it explained that we had to go to war with a rifle in one hand and a rule book in our pocket. Let's talk about the rules of engagement for a vehicle when it came to warning shots. It came right from the top, and it was very, very simple. It was ground, grill, glass. So if a vehicle was approaching and you banished your weapon, and you could shoot the ground, if there was no change in behavior, you could shoot the grill. If there was no change in behavior, you could shoot the glass. That was simple, and that scaled all the way from the private first class on his first deployment, having been in the Army a grand total of 8 months, all the way up to the 4-star general. Everybody could understand that because it was so simple. Now, obviously, it was more nuanced than that when it came to weapon system, when it came to area of responsibility. But in general, ground, grill, glass, that's something simple that everybody could remember. To go along with simple, let's talk about clarity. Now, I'm sure we've all heard people who can talk very eloquently and you could listen to them for hours. They have that beautiful late night DJ voice. But when they're done talking, you have no idea what they really said. So make sure that when you are speaking to your team, your organization, that you are clear on exactly what your mission and vision is. And it really helps if you can write it down. And when you write it down, don't use those big corporate buzzwords. Use clear language that everybody can understand, because clarity is going to help with the simplicity, and it's going to help your team do what you want them to do. Tip number 3 has to deal with trust. And trust is a tricky thing. You can spend years building trust and lose it in a second. I've seen this happen in the classroom several times where it takes me all year to build trust with a student. And then when they finally trust you to tell you something or explain something to you, how you handle that trust that they've instilled upon you is going to make the difference if they ever trust you again. So trust really leads into that 4th aspect of leadership, and that is that leadership is a daily behavior. Are you the same person inside the office as you are at your son's baseball game? Are you the same person on the construction site that you are at your daughter's volleyball game? It's important that no matter where you are the same person. If you're kind of a jerk and you're direct, be kind of a jerk and be direct. That's okay. That's who you are. Keep it simple, keep it clear, and people know who you are. At least you're not somebody different inside the office than you are outside the office. So simplicity, clarity, trust, and lead every single day. And I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter if you're in Silicon Valley, if you're on a football field, basketball court, in a hospital, on a construction site. Leadership is leadership, and leaders are going to lead. I'm JVD. Teach it, coach it, lead.